Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So right now it is like pissing down in rain. It is crazy. And for the last 3 days, it's been no joke, like the nightmares of nightmares in terms of weather, because on Saturday it was like negative 17 degrees. You know when you get so cold that your nose dribbles and you don't even know it's dribbling? That was like literally what was happening. So I thought on that note I would do a winter essentials, because I realized when it's really cold, like our skin just kind of dries up into this like prune. Fun times. Even your hair becomes really dry, your skin becomes really dry, you know, face and body. And so I thought I'd do this video on winter essentials, things that'll help your skin kind of just soften up and become more supple for your face, hair and body, and products and tips that will really just help your body, help your life and help your everyday living. So if you're interested, just stay tuned, check it out. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I found when it gets really cold, and especially in winter, is, okay, this sounds a bit gross, but I get dandruff. And I realized it was just kind of at the rim kind of like of my scalp, so where my forehead meets my scalp type of thing. And I never really had this problem until it got really cold. And I was like, oh my god, what is happening to my scalp? Is this like coconut? Is this snow on my hair? Is this like, what is happening? But it was dandruff, and I don't know why, but the word dandruff is just so revolting for some reason. So the reason why you have this like flaking or dandruff problem is because in the winter your scalp or your head will produce more oils to compensate for like the drier temperatures and drier kind of air. And so the oils on your scalp is what actually combines these dead skin cells on your head to form the flakes of dandruff. Yes, it sounds delicious, but that's essentially what it is. So I went out and got some shampoo. So I got the shampoo and the conditioner because I needed all the help I could get. I apply it, you know, as normal. It doesn't froth up as much as, you know, a normal shampoo does. And it's got kind of like a minty kind of tea tree kind of smell. And it's also got 2% salicylic acid for soft, flake-free and healthy looking hair. And it's also biodegradable if you guys care. So what I do is, you know, I put some in my hand, the same amount as I would with any other shampoo, but I concentrate it on my scalp and kind of just let the shampoo sink into the scalp, leave it there a bit longer than I normally would for a shampoo, maybe like 5 minutes. And so I'll really feel the like kind of tingling, the slight tingling that I'll get on my scalp, and then just wash it away. And then I go in with the conditioner, and same with the conditioner, instead of kind of using this as a moisturizing thing for the end of my roots, I'll concentrate this on the scalp as well so that the ingredients can really just penetrate into the scalp and help with this dandruff problem. So yeah, if you guys were flaking away like this, you're not alone. Because our skin is more exposed to dry climates, you know, whether you're in like constant heating or you're outside being blown away by the Arctic winds, it's, you know, more prone to dryness, and, you know, it doesn't feel comfortable and it doesn't look nice. So I have been literally bathing in skin oils. So for the face, I've been using this Kiehls Midnight Recovery Ointment for a while now, but I've used this almost every day now because it's just been so dry. But because it's expensive, I don't like to use this every day. So maybe every other day, and on every other day I will use this Laneige water sleeping mask, and this is so replenishing. So I don't know if you can see it, but it's this really light gel consistency, and what I love about it most is that it's actually a sleeping mask. So, you know, you come out of the shower, you wash your face or whatever, and I put on some toner, and then I'll put this on top, and you just leave it overnight. And so in the morning, it works the same way as this facial oil. So you just leave it in overnight, and it works overnight to really restore hydration, make your skin more supple and kind of, you know, elastic and plump. And when I wake up after using either of these two, I find that my face it's not like cracked and dry around the cheek area or the nose area. It's just really hydrated, and you can really like see the plumpness in the morning, and it's this nice kind of dewy look. And for the body, because my legs are like literally Tyrannosaurus Rex, they're like scaly and they're white and flaky. I can literally draw snowflake pictures or anything on my leg with my nail and it like becomes white. It is so nasty. So for the body, I've been bathing myself in this AHAVA, it sounds kind of weird. Anyway, Active Dead Sea Minerals. It's a dry oil body mist. So it just comes like this. It's like a spray type of thing, and I'll just spray this all over my arms, on my body, and especially my legs straight after the shower, like when I dry off, because that's when the skin is absorbing the most, when the pores are open and it's going to take in as much nutrients as it can. So I highly recommend getting one of these dry body oils, and I'll again link this in the description box below because I forgot where I got it. My lips have been freaking chapped as heck. So I've been using this Kiehls lip balm, and this one is in mango. I love this one so much because I love mango so much, so it kind of makes sense. And then I've also been using the Korres Guava lip butter, and you can get this at Sephora. And yeah, it just smells really sweet, really just delicious, and kind of coconutty as well. And it's got a really nice consistency. It's not kind of like it's really moisturizing but not glossy. The Kiehls is a bit more kind of slippery and glossy, but it's not sticky. And they both really just absorb onto the lips really nicely as well, and feels really nice. So what I found out just recently is that the lips actually have really thin skin. So every time you lick your lips and then it evaporates and dries out, this will leave your lips even more chapped than they were before. So you know when you're like outside or you're at home and you're licking your lips because it's dry, that's actually making it worse. So getting a nice lip balm, or you know, like whatever, to just moisturize your lips is really important, so then it doesn't become flaky and chapped and bleeding, and when you put lipstick on, it's a big hot mess. So the next thing is kind of to do with the environment we're in. Obviously, it's a lot more colder and it's a lot more dry because it doesn't have as much humidity in the air. Also, we're just constantly under heating. Like, unless you're homeless and on the street, we will be rugged up in some sort of heater, and yes, that is life. So I have gotten this humidifier. And so what the humidifier does is it brings moisture back into the air because, okay, my thing is missing the top. I'll run and get that in a bit. But what you do is just fill this compartment up with water. I mean, there's like different types of humidifiers, but they all generally work the same. You fill it up with water and it somehow does some sort of magic. You turn it on and then it'll puff some sort of steamy air out, but it's not like, you know, condensation steam like a kettle. It's just a really subtle air that restores the hydration in your room. All right, found it. Okay, so it's this little triangle cone thing. And so this is where the air kind of comes out of, and you can't hear it. It's not noisy or anything. And usually I'll just put this on before I go to bed, or even when I get home, just so that the air isn't as dry and my skin, like, it really helps the skin kind of not be as dry when you're at home as well, because heating really just sucks the life out of you and your skin. You know, when it's hot, you're like, ugh. If you guys have dry skin or you have trouble breathing or, you know, whatever, I highly recommend that you get one of these, and it really makes a difference. Okay guys, so the last thing I found, well, not really that I found, this is kind of like a constant lifetime struggle of mine. I have really, really, really dry eyes, like the eyes of a 72-year-old woman with a cataract or something. And so, you know, even throughout the year, even in summer, I'll need eye drops just throughout the day because they tend to be really dry and they don't produce enough tears. And even when I went to the optometrist, they said that my eye produces half the amount of like tears and lubrication that a normal eye does, and if it got any worse, I need to put little like tear duct caps in there to kind of stimulate my tears. So that's how bad it is. That was a little defect of my birth. For winter, obviously it's even worse. I wake up and I'm like, it's like crusting over. It's so dry. So I really highly recommend getting a non-medicated eye lubricating, eye drop, because it just really soothes the eyeball, and you won't know what I mean until you put these little babies into your eyeball. Alright guys, so those are my kind of winter essentials and tips and products that I think everyone should have or, use and invest in when it gets really cold and miserable and raining, and yeah, you just don't want to wake up ever. Thank you so much for watching as per usual, and I'll see you guys really soon. Bye!